What is vulnerability assessment in the context of cybersecurity? A vulnerability assessment is a systematic process of identifying and evaluating vulnerabilities in computer systems, networks, applications, or other IT infrastructure components. It aims to identify weaknesses, security flaws, and potential entry points that could be exploited by attackers to compromise the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of information or resources. The primary goals of a vulnerability assessment include: 1. Identifying vulnerabilities. The process involves actively scanning and analyzing systems to identify known vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, or weak security practices. 1. This may include software vulnerabilities, weak passwords, open ports, outdated software versions, or other potential weaknesses. 2. Assessing the severity and impact. Each identified vulnerability is assessed to determine its severity and potential impact on the system or network if exploited. 2. This helps prioritize vulnerabilities based on their risk level and potential consequences. 3. Providing actionable recommendations. The vulnerability assessment provides recommendations and remediation steps to address the identified vulnerabilities effectively. 3. This may involve applying security patches, reconfiguring settings, updating software versions, or implementing additional security measures. The vulnerability assessment process typically involves the following steps. (1) Scoping and planning. Defining the scope of the assessment, including the systems, networks, or applications to be assessed, and establishing the objectives and rules of engagement. 1. This may involve considering compliance requirements, industry standards, and specific organizational needs. 2. Asset identification. Identifying and documenting the assets to be assessed, including hardware, software, network devices, and their interconnections. 3. Vulnerability scanning. Using automated tools and technologies to scan the identified assets for known vulnerabilities. 3. These tools may utilize databases of known vulnerabilities, security bulletins, or exploit frameworks to identify potential weaknesses. 4. Vulnerability analysis. Analyzing the results of the scanning process to assess the severity, potential impact, and likelihood of exploitation for each identified vulnerability. 4. This analysis may involve researching vulnerabilities, verifying false positives, and determining the relevance to the assessed environment. 5. Risk assessment. Evaluating the identified vulnerabilities in the context of the specific environment and the organization's risk tolerance. 5. This helps prioritize vulnerabilities based on their severity, likelihood of exploitation, and potential impact. 6. Reporting. Documenting the findings, including the identified vulnerabilities, their severity ratings, and recommended remediation steps. 6. The report typically includes technical details, recommendations, and a summary of the overall risk posture. 7. Remediation and follow-up. Acting on the recommendations provided in the vulnerability assessment report to mitigate or eliminate the identified vulnerabilities. 7. This involves implementing security patches, configuring systems correctly, updating software, or applying additional security controls. It is important to note that vulnerability assessments primarily focus on identifying known vulnerabilities and weaknesses. They do not involve active exploitation or attempts to compromise systems. However, they serve as a crucial foundation for vulnerability management and the ongoing process of maintaining a secure IT environment. Regular vulnerability assessments help organizations proactively identify and address vulnerabilities, reduce the attack surface, and enhance overall security posture. They are typically conducted by internal security teams or third-party security providers with expertise in vulnerability assessment methodologies and tools. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked the content of this video, like the video, share it with your friends, near and dear ones. Do let me know your comments and subscribe to my channel at Cyber Professional 123.